Perfect
Plot
point.
thickens and smells like fish.
Hello everyone, welcome on in and happy midsummer for those who celebrate it. How are we all doing today? I hope we're doing great. And breathe. And welcome on into the second episode of the Silver of the Sea Vaesen mystery. Today, why are you being a dumb?
A few minutes later.
Brain. The music you were listening to at the start was by Adrian von Ziegler. The sound effects during the game will be by Sirenscape. The overlay starting soon screen were made by me, and this map you're looking at right now, if you're looking at the stream, is by Free League Publishing, the publishers of the Vaesen system. Intros first. Who is everyone? Let's start with, last time we did the other way, so let's start with Keren today, since she doesn't have a face full of rice.
I don't have any rice today. Sorry, everyone. I'm Keren, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies. You can usually find me over on Corsairs Cove, the channel I run with Josh, who's next to me. I normally play Baldur's Gate 3 on Tuesday nights and alternate between being the glorious god of murder and a panicky mess because I just triggered a massive fight that I don't think I can win. It's a roller coaster of emotions. But everyone, the real life people get out alive, so that's nice. And you can also listen to me on the podcast There Be Dragons. You can follow me on Twitter at Mother of Bunnies. No F because I wasn't allowed.
I mean, let's all press F to pay our respects to the death of Twitter, maybe?
It's still clinging to life. Tenaciously. Oh, and I'm playing Annika Blomqvist, a private investigator, truth seeker, and kind of a little bit of a busybody almost. She knows everyone's business.
Josh.
Oh, hi, mateys. I be JoshThePirate. You can find me on my channel, Corsairs Cove, which I run with my lovely wife, Keren, the Mother of Bunnies. And we play D&D. We play other TTRPGs. This Monday, Keren and I will be taking a look at Inhuman, where you are literally playing someone who has another person in them. Probably a demon. It's a possession thing. It's a dual journaling game by S. Kaya J that she has very kindly sent us. It's currently in playtest mode, which is really neat. She really enjoyed our review of her last thing, so yeah, she has sent us a new thing to play, and we are looking at maybe next Thursday, maybe the Thursday after, having a little short run adventure of Kiki and Kingsley in the Tanglewild setting in Humblewood, in the Evidence setting, maybe with another special little guest, a little red-headed gasty poos who might be on this stream as well, but we need to talk further about that before we get any further. Yeah, that's me. That's who I do and what I am. Yeah, back to you in the studio, Adana.
Speaking of red-headed beauties, Jess.
My hair is technically brown, don't let anyone fool you, especially me. I've never dyed it though. So, I'm Jess, I'm playing Blender tonight. Thank you. It's hell to wash, it really is.
Technically, it's orange. Scenes. It is a dark orange. Brown does not exist.
Brown is just orange with context.
I like that.
I'm gonna need a minute to process.
Look at a color wheel. You won't see brown on it.
I will if I blow my eyes so much. I'm playing Blender tonight. She is the wife of I was about to say lovely Victor, the traumatized Victor. He's something.
We love him.
He can be lovely. So can Blender. You just haven't seen it.
Never.
I won't be here next week though, so what happens with her then, we'll have to find out.
Terris.
Oh, hello. I am Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Today I am playing Dr. Leighton and potentially his hairless cat, Ambrose. Who, yes. Well, Zach accidentally knows more than the rest of you now. Whoops.
Oh
Never
no.
mind. Never mind.
Just as it was intended to be.
Speaking of Zach, hello. How are you?
Hi.
Who are
it's
you?
me. I'm Zach, or Renegade Chicken. Or tonight, Victor, Bird Trauma Man. It's like the movie Birdman, but way less fun. I assume I've never watched it. That said,
What's
yes,
it got lots of? Trauma!
Let's go. I'm very much looking forward to. So yes, hopefully, sometime next week you should see me pop up again over on Corsair's Cove, as Josh mentioned, which playing Kingsley again, which I'm very looking forward to. But for now, let us indulge in trauma fantasy.
It's better than the real thing, though. And hi, I am Ardana, or Joe, or Oi you there, though Lilith isn't in chat, so nah. I am the GM and channel runner around these parts. Anyone want to give us a quick recap of what happened last time?
Yep.
We got on a boat.
I think
We're on a boat!
we wound up doing a bit of research. I don't believe we came to any specific conclusions on exactly what this thing would be, but we took a train to get to the port that would take us there. I remember that on the train we saw some sort of effectively like merman equivalent in one of the nearby lakes who waved at us, and as a result met a person on the train who it turned out also had the site, and I think we gave them our cards so they could come find us. We made our way to the port, and after asking around, I think a few of us electing not to talk with anyone due to a lack of charisma, while the rest of the party split between talking to this priest that we had received this letter from, and Josh's character Ansfred taking the sailor, who was refusing to take the priest back to the island, away to chat for a bit. We ascertained it appears that people are likely being sacrificed in some manner. We're not sure exactly to what end or in what fashion, but we believe they are. The priest is sure that that's like that there's some sort of funky stuff going on the island, and he was very annoyed to have been left behind, but was eventually convinced that he should just let us go handle it. And I believe that towards the end of the session, Ansfred had also, with said sailor, managed to organize us a trip effectively onto the islands for us to go investigate everything further.
Yeah,
I think that about sums it.
Yep, but sums it up. And with that, if we are all as comfortable as we are going to get, let's get started. So if I remember right, well, considering that you plied the fisherman with alcohol and sea voyage doesn't really go together all that well, I do believe that you said that you will be going out was it the next morning?
I think so, yes.
I think we said the next day.
Yes, don't drink
Whenever
and
he
boat,
can
guys.
take us, really.
No.
Whenever he feels sober enough.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, could everyone please roll me a vigilance check?
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
let
boy,
me
can
see.
I.
Vigilance.
Hell yes,
we're
I
just
can.
Starting straight
Although
off
it
the
is
bat.
actually
Okay.
slightly worse than last time, but that's still 8 dice.
Why is it worse than last time?
Because before session I realized I forgot, so you can actually take traits or talents that belong to other classes with your level ups, just not with your first one. So I traded the +1 vigilance that I had picked up for the suspicious trait, which makes my mental injuries basically don't impair my vigilance checks, so I can be paranoid at all times.
2 6s.
I got 1.
7.
I got 2 6s, 3 5s, and a 1.
Ooh.
That's very nice.
I got
a 6 and 2 5s and a 2 on 4 dice, which I'm pretty happy with.
I rolled 7 dice and got nothing.
I rolled 8 and got nothing.
Wow.
Oh wait, no, it should have been 7. You're right. So, and regardless,
Well,
though,
better
so
re-roll
many of
them.
these are nothing.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Like,
Josh
no
tried
matter
to give
what
you an out.
7 I had rolled, yeah. Yes, unfortunate.
So Leighton, you got the highest with 2, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did roll 2.
Okay. So Victor and Blenda, the night passes completely uneventful. Victor, you've landed in a room with no windows. So you have a
Hey.
good
Sure.
night's sleep. No one can get you here. Blenda,
Excellent.
Victor's calm. The dog is calm. Everything's fine. The
He's snoring like fuck.
the soothing sound of calm waves rock you to sleep, and the night passes uneventfully. Annika and Ansfrid, you hear something from out the on the ocean, a calm, almost soothing rumbling sound, as if something big rolled in and then passed. And Leighton is at the pass just when night turns to dawn. Because this is Swedish summer, it's roughly at about 2:30 a.m. You hear that same like large rumbly sound of almost like a huge wave breaking against cliffs, and then you hear a singing, wordless, just humming out, crossing the waves. And could I please have a force check from you, Leighton?
A force check. There is force. So for I am rolling 2 dice. Let's remove 5 of those dice. I did not get a 6.
Okay. You hear the singing echoing out across the waves, and before you have a chance to react, you feel cold sand under your feet. And you wake, and not really wake up, but you manage to shake off this feeling of otherworldliness as your toes hit water. And you're standing on the beach next to the pier.
I am in my pajamas.
Hopefully.
I think. Yeah, no,
Yep.
Leighton definitely would be in pajamas.
I'm imagining a nightcap. Like
Not
a
with
little
a
floppy
pom-pom.
wizard's hat.
Not
Yeah.
quite a nightcap, but he's definitely, in the full pajamas. So I think he just sort of shakes his head. Just, oh goodness, I am not appropriately dressed. Sort of looks around. Did I hear? Ow! I just bit my tongue. Ow. Did I hear singing? Sort of peering out over the ocean or over the water. Sort of cocking his head, trying to hear if he can hear it again.
There's still a faint trace of, like, wordless singing. Very, very faint.
Hello? Mysterious singer? Hello?
Hello, who is it? Sorry.
Hey, yo, what's up?
You don't hear any more. You don't hear a response. The singing seems to be fading away, and you become very aware of the fact that you're standing barefoot, wearing your pajamas on a beach at night.
Do I know where my room is from here?
Yeah, you can just turn around and see the building.
Ah, excellent. So he's going to look around just to make sure there's nothing that he can see or hear other than that faint singing that is not responding to him. and then he is going to very quickly and quietly slither upstairs.
Yep.
Trying not to be seen by anybody who, might take offense to an Englishman in his pajamas.
Who would ever take offense at that? No one. I've never met anyone who would.
It's
Well, at least they've never
inappropriate.
said anything to me.
And he will consider waking the other four to tell them what's happened, but he feels if it's not going to happen again, like that it hopefully won't happen again, that it's probably something best discussed once everyone is awake and aware. He's not going to bother anybody because he may have accidentally sleepwalked.
The rest of the night passes. I'm not sure if Leighton, if you go back to sleep or not, but the actual morning dawns properly at about 6. And the fisherman is ready to set out at about 7:30.
So yeah, I think Leighton would would sort of casually tell what happened over breakfast.
Mhm.
Just no, I don't know if they're a siren Vaesen, but that's what I was thinking when that happened. But Leighton just Annika,
Yes.
do you know if in your reading of books or any of the rest of you, if you've heard of sirens being a real thing?
I suspect I'm about to have to roll something to see
Yes.
if I have encountered such
Please give me a
tales.
learning check.
learning.
And upon saying that, he would go into the story
Mhm.
of what had happened to him that night.
1-6.
Okay. From what you know, sirens specifically live in the Mediterranean. But along these waters, mermaids have a similar thing that they can do, luring sailors and whoever they want, really, into the waters to drown them.
Well, usually one finds sirens more in the Mediterranean area, but it might have just been in mermaids. They have some similar abilities in terms of luring people out into the water, so...
Well, I was very nearly lured. It was just the bloody cold of the water that woke me in time. Or roused me in time.
What did it feel like?
Ooh.
One moment I was in my bed, awoken by singing. The next, I was on the sand, my feet cold and the tips of my toes in the water.
Without your slippers. How rude. Do you know, did you ever feel any compulsion, or you just were there?
Would I have? Or would I have just been there?
You would have just felt that there was like a need to find out who was singing, and then you were found yourself on the beach.
I very much wanted to find out who was singing, and then I was, I guess, entranced by it or something.
You have a sense of the passage of time? You know, if you rushed?
No, not really. It was very early morning, I believe.
Might I suggest, well, if we are spending the night on this island, that we maybe close the doors to our domicile in such a way that it is complicated to open. Maybe requires more than one person.
I'm quite
So
happy
that
to tie one
Leighton
of my
doesn't go
ankles
for
to
a
the bed
swim.
frame, personally.
Well, nothing saying that if you are able to get down to the beach and I don't think there's anything that would have indicate that you were not capable of opening a door or like solving
course.
simple puzzles.
Of course.
So untying your own leg, I don't know, maybe
Quite
a
possible,
sleepwalker
yes.
can't do that, but I wouldn't bet on it, is my point.
I don't necessarily like the idea of all of us sleeping with earplugs, because not being able to hear something coming might be a problem, but
No.
I could sleep in front of the door with earplugs in. I won't be
Annika
able to hear
often
the song. And if
sleeps with
someone
earplugs anyway.
And if somebody
have.
has to leave through the door, they'll have to open it into me first.
Certainly need
I
to be
believe
well.
Annika has spare earplugs. I have a sinus infection.
I think it has like a bag of them.
Oh, you have a
Tied
sinus
beneath the
infection?
bow.
If you wouldn't mind.
Come, let me look.
No, sorry, not a. It's a deviated septum.
Oh,
I can undeviate that for you.
Pulls out scalpel. Let me look.
Many have tried.
Slightly harder to fix, but I believe if one takes the blunt end of the scalpel blade and sticks it up the nose and then readjusts, there'll be some blood, but it should possibly realign itself. Probably not something that you'd. Okay.
Like looking at him,
yes.
there is. You know, no, see a broken nose, there would be like 1. He's got about 4. He's like a fucking zigzag. It's a chicane. Yeah. You're like, he looks at you like you can try.
That has been broken and then rebroken and then rebroken again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he takes a look and he's just, possibly best we just leave it be.
At least
Honestly.
until we get back to the castle. I imagine.
Yes.
I would prefer not to walk around here with a healing nose.
Yes, that. Although the sea air would probably do it good. Yes, probably best.
So I imagine Annika would probably be appreciative. So she's
I
often
get to
said
break the nose.
You've often said you find it quite soothing sometimes.
Oh, sometimes. Depends how aggressive it is. There's levels. A gentle snore is soothing. A much larger window shaking one.
Anyway, enough of my light nighttime exhalations. We should be going, yes?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
You find the fisherman out by the pier again, and looking around, you can see that the priest is not there. He is seemingly true to his word. Oh,
I would like to check he has not hidden himself on the boat, though.
okay, yeah, sure. Give me a pier. What would that be?
Bro is holding
I
his breath
restrained
clean to
myself
the
and
underside.
everything. And then I was like, I'm just going to type it in chat.
Pier?
Then you said it. Pier?
Yes. Character sheet, there it is. I think that would be a investigation or observation check, your choice.
I'm better at investigation, so I will investigate this boat.
Okay.
I'm going to be with Annika in case she finds anybody so that she doesn't have to be the rude person who ejects the priest.
Yeah, I literally rolled 8 dice, and they were all 3s and 2s.
My point being, I'll give the help action
Yeah, you can roll 1 extra die.
Time.
for a 9th
There's
dice.
a chance.
Hey, that was a 6! That's
Hey!
Work.
Ansfrid finds him.
Yay.
Aha!
You don't
Answer around the corner
find
and goes, that guy?
you don't find the priest per se, but what you do find is like a small bundle of like a cloth bundle with 2 extra notebooks, both being stamped with like like a stamp from the church. that has been squirreled a bit away on the ship.
Ooh.
And
Quick flick through.
one of them is completely empty. And the other one, you find a little, just 2 lines written in. And it says, the first one is just get her out of there. And the second one says human sacrifice, ?
Get her out of there. Am I forgetting something, or did we not encounter a potential female person missing?
Well, loads of people have gone missing.
Oh, yes.
There's so many.
And this is on the boat.
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Yep. Yeah, so it's embossed in the leather covering of these notebooks is the like a stamp from the church.
Okay.
And you
We
can
used
tell
to
that the
shoot.
cloth used has been water proofed. So it's waxed.
Mhm.
Does it match the handwriting of the person who sent us the letter?
Yes.
The priest?
And the fisherman is just turns to you and just ready to set out. If we get there early, we might actually get to the pier and not have to walk across the other boats.
That would be lovely.
Wonderful.
I'm ready. Can I if there was an answer I didn't hear it. Does the the handwriting in these notebooks match
Yes.
the priest's? Yeah.
Yes, it
sorry,
does.
Thank you.
And yeah, the small ship sets sail, and you are taken through the archipelago. This early in the morning, the waters are relatively calm, and there is a almost warm breeze coming in, filling the sails and giving you a good speed through. That's not proper English, but let's roll with it. And it takes you a couple of hours to get through past all the tiny islands or islets and the big cliff-covered cliff-covered cliffs. I swear my brain is working. And then once you clear the last big island before Wrecker Isle, you see what people are talking about when they say this place is packed. Like, you stop a good what would that be? It's not like a good 200 meters from the island. Not because you want to, but because you cannot get any closer. The whole area is packed with ships. And
Oh wow.
like all around where the island is just ships. And they are tied up to each other, or creating almost a land bridge. And you hear the fishermen cursing a little.
Right. This is an interesting query, and it's sort of running off Josh's real life knowledge of actual sailing. And I'm wondering if this is, because this is hugely inefficient, and there would be so much damage done to these ships on just even in a short term. So this is definitely aberrant, right? We see this and go, well, that's stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, no one who cares about their boat would tie it up in such a way long term.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's highly inefficient, and you get the feeling that while they are tied up in this way, none of these ships are here long term. They stop.
Right.
The sailors get smashed. They stay just long enough for the sailors to sober up enough, and then they set off again.
Right.
So
Then Ansred would share that with the group,
Yep.
because not a lot of them are nautical, but Ansred has some knowledge of boats, and would say, this is not the way things are done. Certainly not long term. These are guests, visitors. You don't leave your boat like this. It would break it. 2 weeks and the tide would basically destroy your guardrails.
As a sort of a point of interest, I guess. Actually, one very small thing first, because I realized I forgot to do it last session. But because we'd organized to fight, I'd organized with one of Blender's contacts through Blender to pick up that hurricane lantern in port before we left. So I would have grabbed that.
Yep.
Using the binoculars that I picked up last session, though, as we're approaching, and especially now that we're here, am I able to take a bit of a look around? And I'd like to see whether I can spot any kind of either sort of like large outcroppings of rock with any like people or creatures on them, or whether there are any sort of boats that appear to be like sections where I can see sunken ships that might still be sticking up out of the water or anything. I'm wondering, because like even though we're several hours away, I'm wondering if there's a siren in the area that could be like moving people around a little bit in that way. I'm wondering whether that might be contributing to the fact that this island has so many boats abandoned on it that it is surrounded by like a ring that prevents you getting to it.
I don't think they're abandoned.
no,
That
they're
was
not
my
abandoned.
impression.
There are people. These are visitors, but the island is called Wrecker Isle. So
Yeah.
the quarry is
So
still
there would be a lot around.
Yeah. So absolutely, you can
But not-
see some
I'll
masts.
just look around just in case.
Yeah, you can see some masts sticking up. You can see. Let me actually swap that over. You can see the remnants of shipwrecks all around this island, on the islands, and also masts sticking out of the water. You also see that it seems to be like you mentioned, a kind of a ring where the other ships don't cross, or like they try to go around it, but it dips off very fast. So
Right.
just like maybe 50 or so meters, not even that, from the cliffs themselves, you can see like masts and things stick up, and then it just nothing. And you get the feeling that it's very deep here.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. And sort of that. This is off the coast. This is actually in the North Sea.
What would it be, the North Sea or the Baltic Sea? My brain not Baltic Sea. That's the other way.
The North Sea just does that.
Because the Swedish west coast is strange in that way, because you have that thing where Norway and Sweden meets. It's just riddled with fjords.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So very steep-sided gorges, and so
Yeah.
it's not unusual for an island to have an extremely sharp shelf off the edge, and it's
Massive
just
drop off.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay.
So
Like, sometimes the North Sea just goes, no, I'm gonna kill you, fuck you in particular.
yes, it's like Australia that way.
Often the North Sea. Oh, I don't know, I'd rather be here than...
No, it's probably not a proper fjord because there's an archipelago here, but like it's very deep for where you're at.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And yeah, on the stream you can now see a map of like you get closer eventually through the slight movement of ships leaving. You manage to get close enough so that you can just cross a couple of ships to get to the pier. And you can also tell that this fisherman is going to try and get even closer, but right now he's like, meh, you can get off here if you wish, and I'll try to get closer as the others move. But it's up to you, really.
So this chap wasn't coming here on his own. He's not coming here to fish. He is coming here to drop us off. We've paid him for that service. Right. Cool. And he's staying to take us off again, presumably.
Yeah, should you want to. He's just gonna hang around. I mean...
Right. It's a party town.
Yeah, basically.
That's it. Yeah. Cool.
Here we go. Here's the map of what you will see. As you climb up on the pier, you are immediately hit by like the worst stench of fish imaginable. It's
Fun.
and I need
Annika looks a bit green.
yeah, I need everyone to
Remind
make
of the
me
dorms.
I need everyone to make me a force check against being nauseous because it is really overpowering.
Force.
So
Can I argue for
Hey, I got one
another-
success.
a little bit of an advantage on this as with his time as a stevedore?
Nope. I did not get anything. Sorry.
No, I'd say no. You have
In which case, I do not.
I also do not.
Oh, 6 dice and nada.
I rolled 3 dice and I got a 6.
I rolled
Hey.
2 dice and got 1 6. I'm quite proud.
Yeah, I got 1 off of 4.
nice.
I rolled 2 dice.
So the anyone who succeeded, it is just the most vile combination of rotting fish, smoke, and seaweed mixed with but you somehow managed to keep your breakfast. For you who failed, it's just overpowering.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
I
like
have
who's
spent a
going
lot
to-
of time near the coast, and this is wrong.
I'm gonna say Annika has like pulled out her handkerchief and is like holding it over her nose, and I like to think
Yeah.
she's got like a little bit of perfume on it that she's like, just gonna breathe
Yeah.
through this. My God.
I presume Leighton has some strong smelling things in his medical bag that he would use to cut out stench if he's investigating bodies and
Yep.
the like.
Vicks vapor rub.
Uh-huh.
So you
Yeah.
should offer Ansford some smelling salts. Nothing bad will happen if we give him actual smelling salts.
But yeah, so if there's
Ansford also has powerful smelling things on his person.
Yeah.
Yes, but
yeah. So
Consider-
this
but they're different.
this
Smelling
place is a fish saltery and smokery, and I don't think at Sweden at this time made any form of fish sauce, but that's basically what it smells like. Plus, drunk sailors and fishermen have collapsed outside the inn, which is a little bit further up.
Actually, I think in spite of the success, I fully think that like Victor turns his nose up, and I think not even I don't think it seems uncontrolled or like an oh god I can't hold it, but you just see him kind of like turn up his nose, move off to the side of the road, and just vomit once into the dirt, and then just stand up, dust himself off, and like his nose is still wrinkled, but he seems to have adjusted.
anchovies,
He has a
the fish
tack
of the sea.
Yak, yeah.
He let it out of his system. He's like, all right, this
Yep.
fucking sucks. But here we go.
That's a wonderful Australianism for the foreign among us. A tack-yak, a tactical.
Yeah.
Or a tap
Yeah.
room, yeah.
Mhm.
Conversely,
to forget.
Blender's gonna take a big whiff and go, I've smelled this. And look pointedly
but I
at her
have-
husband.
All the same, and Leighton will actually hand out handkerchiefs or pieces of cloth with strong-smelling, pleasant, or at least overpowering smells that are not fish.
Except for
everybody.
Victor's that has chloroform.
No.
Aw.
So
No
when
fun.
you get onto the island, you do see where the smell is coming from a huge yellow painted warehouse next to the pier. You see several barrels filled with sea salt and several closed barrels where you can reasonably assume that there is salted herring in.
If
To
it's salted, why does it smell like that?
It's been assaulted. It's different.
And to your right, you see another large building, not as big, but still big, a 2-story building that looks strangely nice compared to the warehouse. It has a nicely trimmed trees around it, a little bit of a gravel walkway leading up to the front door, and another smaller gravel walkway leading towards a very rundown building behind it. And
I think.
yep.
No, you sorry.
The very rundown building behind it has a couple of rough-looking men passed out in front of it. A equally rough-looking man leaning slightly against one of the support beams, holding the roof in place over the porch. And a door barely hanging on for dear life.
Leighton will immediately run to give aid to the unconscious men.
Okay. As you get there, you realize they are drunk off their asses.
Roll them on their side and leave them be, bro.
What's happened here? He's going to ask to the one that's up, as he's checking the vitals and I think smelling salts.
I think he's gonna lean
Transfer.
into answer and be like, I think he had a time.
We just brought someone else who's going to get himself killed here.
As you ask the one who's standing, well, leaning, he's like, I got thrown
Later.
out.
Leighton, he's fine.
Oh,
He just needs time.
Just
Roll him on
roll
his
him
side and leave him be.
he will
Nobody
do that. Just they're drunk. I understand.
Nobody gets like that if they don't want to.
Of course. Right. I thought that there was some damage done here.
Yeah. You mean aside from the liver?
There was.
What was the
But it
name
was
of the
self-inflicted.
family that we were looking into? The ones who'd suddenly risen to power?
The Amundsen.
That's right. Yeah, I do think that in that case, Victor would sort of, as they're walking over, and Leighton sort of pulls attention via running over to the man, he'll just sort of tilt his head towards the enormous, fancy, sort of out-of-place rich person house and just... I'm assuming those are the ones we're looking for, more than likely.
Probably a safe guess.
But do we want to just go straight on up and knock on the door, or should we like go in the pub and ask some questions of some inebriated locals?
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody in there can answer questions.
Or
But
you
in
can
this
almost
case-
always get answers to questions in a pub. You just have to
Bartender.
ask the right questions. And
Good
not
bartender.
necessarily of the drunk person. Yes. Bartenders see all, hear all.
I would
That's what I
suggest
would
if we go in there, if this is the state of these fellows, that we don't drink anything. It seems that the alcohol may have been poisoned.
You said the ale was really bad, right?
Yes.
Hear me out.
Good
Blender
start.
tries
Like
the
that.
ale. Hear me out. Blender tries the ale.
So you're stepping in.
I mean, for ways to write you out for next session, that's a very abrupt one, but yes.
I have other idea that I'm gonna give to Jess later. So yeah, do you step inside or do you want to go up to the house?
I'm down to step inside if everyone else is.
I think investigating before we confront them first might be smart.
Leighton does not have an opinion on the matter, so he's happy to follow either way. He's just there to keep you alive.
Oh, there's no map of that. Never mind.
Like, I suppose I'm just worried that if we draw attention to us, like literally go up and say hi, they'll be like, "Oh, these people are fucked up! Quick, tie them up and throw them in a boat! Away, away!"
As
That's
you,
a valid concern.
that's true.
Whereas if we poke around a bit first, we might get useful information. You never know.
Okay, so nope, that's the wrong. No, not handouts. I want. Give me the description of the people, please. Okay, as you step up to the inn, you do see the two men next to Leighton and the guy who is using the building for support to make the world stop spinning. As you step inside, you are immediately hit by the sounds of an absolutely packed pub. And let me see if I can find those. People are shouting and someone is singing off key in a corner, and everything has, while it's not as bad as outside, everything is covered in that scent of fish. And you, after just quick look around, you realize it's because that's the only thing served at this pub. Various versions of fish.
Bro, no one needs carbohydrates. What the fuck?
You see sandwiches with fish on
Fish
them.
sandwiches. Unfortunately, the bread is also made of fish.
Do they at least have chips?
Yeah, fish and chips. Wayo.
No,
Shutting up
it's
permanently.
bread, fish, potatoes, and more fish.
So they can make fish and chips.
Chips are a potato.
Could be.
I mean,
Bro,
Fish and potatoes.
we're gonna open up a fish and chip shop. You go.
Make a fucking killing.
Lock, stock, and two smoking haddock.
eh.
Just saying.
Hey, true. The comeback.
Leighton could go with smoked haddock. With potato. Possibly some cabbage.
Here might surprise some people, but smoked haddock is not a thing in Sweden.
Oh.
Where's the smoked haddock a thing then?
England, Ireland.
Haddock is
Yeah.
English, really.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's amazing, but Swedes don't smoke white fish. It's just
There you go.
salmon and herring, possibly, because it keeps longer. So,
Yeah, cycle of chat is the fish flavored alcohol too. Yeah, is there a fish liqueur?
that might be why the ale is bad. Someone accidentally dropped the herring in it.
Yeah.
They just have live fish swimming around in the alcohol. But they haven't watered it down, I promise.
Needs more dog. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And as you look around, you also see a couple of wait staff just sidling in between these people, and for some reason, the regular outfits with just a dress and an apron has been accentuated by feathers. No one really knows why. Possibly just, why not?
Somebody pluck a seagull.
What kind of feathers?
Yeah, seagull and what's it called?
White feathers.
Yeah, white
Albatross,
feathers.
Pelican.
Eh,
That's all I got.
I need to check what that is called in English.
Albatross?
Ospreys.
Osprey. Oh. Got a little bit of black markings in them, maybe, but
Yeah.
mostly white.
Yeah.
Okay.
This session, Victor starts a bar fight.
I'm thinking about it. These guys are clearly bird sympathizers.
But insane.
Stop calling people bird sympathizers.
People should just stop being bird sympathizers, I think.
Perhaps they're not bird sympathizers. Perhaps those are the trophies of all the birds they've killed.
Yeah,
Perhaps
yeah.
they're birds.
See, that was one of my first thoughts too, but my thing that I'm thinking is I don't, like, actually, yeah, no, that
Perhaps
is a
they're
fair
weird
point.
birds.
I've defeated my own logic now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you don't wear
I have,
feathers if you like
however,
birds.
learned that it is I think Victor has learned that it is a social faux pas to go straight up to someone and ask what their opinions on birds is, like whether they're for or against.
Hey,
Look,
hey,
I've
do you like
learned-
birds?
Pro or anti-birds.
Look, I've
Okay.
learned about a lot of social faux pas. I still do them.
Also, as you look around in this room, you see behind the bar two older gentlemen, if you want to call it that, who look surprisingly alike, and they seem to be very busy just pouring some clear liquid into glasses, and
The magical aquavit.
and from time to time pouring some golden-ish liquid into tankards.
Fish oil.
Also running out with various dishes of food from what you would assume is a kitchen. Next to the bar, on top of a huge barrel, sits a short, stocky woman. Her hair in a tight bun, a apron absolutely covered in filth, and a shotgun across her lap.
This wouldn't happen to be the Codmother by any chance.
And she has spotted you. And her brows are starting to furrow a bit as she's just looking straight at you.
Quick,
know
everyone
that-
pretend we're here to party. Yeah! Drinks on!
I know that I have low empathy, but would you guys mind if Blender maybe spoke to her?
Go ahead. I don't mind.
Blender's gonna call Fluffy to heal. Walk over. Make her gun on her shoulder quite obvious. And, is this seat taken? New accent.
New accent, who dis?
Any seat can be taken if you take it.
Blender's gonna sit down.
Now,
Takes seat, leaves.
now, you knew you were not here yesterday. So, what will it be?
She's gonna hold out her hand to introduce herself and just Blender. And this is my husband Victor and my friends Leighton, Annika, Artstreet.
Oh, we're there too, are we? Excellent.
I point you out from across the bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I was gonna say Victor is still standing by the entryway, just like eyes following the waitstaff with feathers.
Annika is committing to her bit and is ordering shots.
I've gone with Annika to cautiously not get drunk.
Yep.
Oh, she's not going to drink the shot, but she's going to make everyone think she's drunk the shot.
Yeah.
Leighton is trying to find the most inoffensive thing on the menu.
You do find what looks like a fish stew. It says vegetables in quotation marks on it.
Vegetable stew.
It's more fish, isn't it?
He'll buy a round of that for everyone in the party.
Yep.
Lovely.
So my brain's very suddenly gone completely blank. It is not giving me anything.
Oh dear.
Help.
like you're wanting to ask this, what you're trying to get information out of this woman.
Yeah, my brain's just
I mean,
stopped.
if we thought this person was sort of up to stuff, I would not necessarily have gone straight up and said, "Hey, bro, apparently you're up to stuff." Like, she was the last person I would have wanted to speak to, so play it super cash and just get the lay of the land, find out where all the players are, who everybody is, try not to piss her off, because we suspect she's sacrificing people on the full moon to the sea for making the fish come.
So don't ask if she sacrifices people on the new moon or the full moon.
Definitely don't do that, yeah.
Stick
I
to a
won't
more
do that.
gentle getting to know you line of questioning.
Yeah. We definitely don't know or like any priests.
I agree. Second part at least. So vibes on basically saying, so bro, we heard the fishing around here was good and the drinks even better.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, cool. Yes, we've come from a while away actually. We heard this is an excellent fishing spot with better drinks.
Oh,
I am more of a hunter myself, and she's gonna gesture to the front on her back, but the others, they're looking to make some kind of, call it a living.
we are always looking for people to help out at the warehouse. Though I would say that your friends, they don't look dressed to be fishing.
Yes. She's not gonna offer anything other than yes.
Yeah.
We can, however, offer them drinks for a decent price.
Blender's gonna look over to where Annika is ordering shots and just. They seem happy enough.
Good.
Do you have a room? Or two?
Rooms? Oh, we do have upstairs where you can stay the night. Now, although they tend to get packed, so they are quite costly. And now, as a mechanics thing, for the party to have 2 rooms to share will cost you 5 resources.
Oh crap. One
Well,
room?
I don't think we were planning on staying on the island overnight.
She doesn't know that. And
Sure,
absolutely
I'm just
fucking
saying.
not. Yeah.
No,
I'm not paying for that. I don't have 5 resources.
I'm not staying here with these fucking bird worshippers.
True.
Eggs.
Yeah.
Fine.
Place is lousy with bird
Zach just said
sympathizers.
eggs.
Someone gets it.
your choices if you don't want to stay at the inn is out in the wilderness somewhere or on the boat you came in on. Convincing the fisherman to let you stay the night on the ship and he's staying around will cost you 1 resource.
We may just have to.
That's
stay
probably
the
what we'll
night on
do.
the boat.
but-
Annika's hoping that we'll just solve the mystery tonight and then sail away. She doesn't want to have to sleep here, guys. Like she's reasonably okay with slumming it, but this place stinks.
I don't know why my brain's gone blank. I had so many questions like, yes, Blender can do this, and then I just nothing.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
This doesn't happen to me.
It happens.
Ansred and Annika are at the bar.
Mhm.
Ansred would like to do a conjuring trick
Ow.
to make it look like he and Annika are getting fucking hammered.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
This is more of a sleight of hand, basically.
Mhm.
But
Just throwing Aquavie over one shoulder.
But yeah, just fucking necking it. Going round for round with the locals, like, and he would buy a round or 2 for the bar staff. Because that's as good as a tip. And get in conversation with the gruffest most experienced-looking one
That'd be the Codmother.
that isn't one of the brothers,
Okay.
if possible. I wouldn't, because we were told about the twins who are the enforcers or something.
Yeah.
Not those.
So, as you look around, you see two young women waiting the tables, and you also see the chef in the back as the door swings open and then closes. He looks busy though, very busy. But one of the young women as you look around, you just see her just slap one of the sailors as his hand comes too close.
So look, it's somebody who shows a respect and appreciation, but without being handsy. I'll go with her, and Annika and Ansfred will. It's a good part of them. What is good in a little glass? Something that you can knock back.
Abela wants me to say the aquavit. I would say probably that, but with some water in it. I wouldn't drink the water straight, though. I would probably make you just as sick as the ale will.
You're very honest.
I like her. She's good.
Yes. 3 of them, then, please, for yourself. One for yourself.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, Annika and Ansfred do not drink it, but it looks like they do.
You see the woman sip on it.
I'll have mine straight.
Right. Okay. She hops on over to the bar real quick, gets the orders, pours them herself, and then pops back to you. And starts. She sips on hers because she's still technically working.
Well, I was envisaging this from my time as a barman.
Yeah.
At the bar.
Yeah.
You go to the bar and order the shot, and the barman does it with you there, and it's an opportunity to engage them in conversation for a couple of minutes tops before they're busy and they have to go and do something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So while she is serving us, I would pepper her with questions of
Yep, go ahead.
Anything interesting going on in the town right now?
Nothing really. To be honest, I only really work here so I can get out of here.
Is there what causes your particular desire to leave this very beautiful part of the world?
Boredom, mostly. I'm
Now
from.
the smell?
Oh no, that's part of the. No, I'm not from this island. I'm from Fjällbacka, where the village. I only took this job so I could get enough money to get to Gothenburg.
Lovely place.
Yes.
I hope you'll do well there. I've heard there was a couple of he sort of drops his voice a little bit, not being like true stealthy, but like I've heard something of rumors of disappearances.
Yes. That is true. And you can see her just looking around, making sure no one is listening. Just.
Is she scared to talk about that?
Give me an observation check.
I help.
Okay. So you can add up
Linda
one
has
extra
the
die.
Codmother
If I'm getting a
distracted.
hand, then it is 6. No. That's 2 6s. 2 6s.
She is very nervous to talk about the disappearances. She really doesn't want to be caught talking about it.
Do her eyes go in any one particular direction when she is checking for whether or not people are listening?
Yeah, with 2 6s, I'd say she's looking at the brothers and the Codmother, Abela.
Right.
Who
She
Blender
does.
is.
He doesn't pursue that line of questioning. Then, if it's
Yep.
making her like she's given him all the information he requires, really, about that that she'd be able to give him. He says, "Well, I'm sure it's nothing. It's the ocean. People go missing on the sea all the time."
Yes.
Imagine if you got drunk and then fell off the pier. That might.
Quite. This
Yes,
is part of the problem.
That happens a lot, unfortunately.
And swimming out in the bay would be very hazardous with all the boats.
Yes. That has also happened.
What would you recommend is the best food if we were to order?
I would say the stew. It's been cooked for a long time.
As it should be.
Yes.
Stew it is. I'll tell later on.
There, if you want more information about the area, I would say talk to Orvar in the corner. And she's gonna tilt her head to what looks like a pile of rags and seaweed in a corner.
Fantastic. Is there a mug or cup next to it?
Yes.
I would like. I will tell her. It's like, well, then I'll need one of whatever Orva is drinking.
Right up. And did you want that stew as well?
Oh, please, that would be lovely.
Right.
My love. Cool. Then we get stew and a mug of, I imagine the beer is what this pile of seaweed is drinking, and head on over to have a conversation with that.
Yep. Okay, Victor, what are you doing?
I think that Victor is reluctant to move from his spot by the door. I think he's going to keep an eye out, but if I can, because Blender is having the conversation with the lady in charge at the moment, while she's got her attention, I would like to... Actually, you know what? Yeah, I want to take advantage of my background a little bit here, if possible. I want to basically shoot a look across the room, because I know that from what you were mentioning earlier, it definitely seems like this sort of lady is in charge, I suppose. Can I get a read on the room? I want to see who's paying attention to the crowds. Not necessarily in the way of a, like...
Bouncer.
A bouncer, but like, acting as someone who was previous military personnel. I'm wondering, I guess, yeah, like, I suppose on like a bouncer or on an enforcer level, like who's keeping an eye out, who's looking... Not necessarily who's going to make, like, the step to be like, alright, you've had too much to drink, you know, get out of here, but like, who's the one who's actually keeping the eye out, even if they're not the ones who are going to be doing the removal.
Okay.
Because I'm wanting to figure out if they've got, like... If there are people who I think might be keeping an eye on us, I'd like to know which ones to have my eyes on.
Yep. Give me an observation or vigilance check.
I will absolutely take vigilance. That's 7 dice. We love vigilance checks in this house.
Yes.
2 6s.
Nice. As you scan the room, you instantly become aware of that the woman that Blenda is talking to is at the same time keeping a very sharp eye on the crowds. The waitress that Ansfrid and Annika was talking to is also very keenly aware of what's happening. The brothers at the bar have no clue. They can barely see, like they barely pay attention to the people at the bar. But as soon as the old woman moves, one of them seems to jump to attention and then relax. And then at the far corner next to what looks like a back door in, you see a man very finely dressed, perfectly made, like set hair, but no one is paying attention to him.
Okay, so no one else in the bar but does he seem to have eyes on the room, or is he kind of keeping to himself?
He seems to be observing everything in the room, just head moving slightly back and forth. He looks very relaxed.
Okay.
But he has an eye on everything that's happening.
Okay. I think in that case, I will move towards the bar where I know Leighton is, because Leighton's ordered like food for people and things.
Yes.
And as he sort of pulls up beside, we'll just as quietly as he can under his breath, and he'll have taken a seat opposite wherever the sort of matron of the establishment is sitting. And we'll just as quietly as he can, just don't look now, but rich type in the corner, unbothered, keeping eyes on everyone. You're probably the best one to have that conversation if it's going to be had.
Of course.
And then we'll look over towards Blender to see how she's doing as well.
Blender is not fumbling her way through this like I am. Blender's doing fine, actually. As she's just going to. You're obviously in charge of this place. Anything visitors like us should know?
Well, one thing that new people should know when coming to Wrecker Isle. Here we drink, here we eat, and here we mind our own business.
Oh, I'm liking it here more and more already.
Now,
what should...
Yes?
Any recommendations for the drink?
Oh, it depends on what you want with the drink. Wanna get knocked out fast? Aquavit. Wanna take your time and savor the atmosphere? I recommend the ale.
How do you do with the smell? How do you deal with it?
Oh, you get used to it. I've lived here my whole life.
She's gonna kind of cast a look at Victor and just quietly... He threw up immediately.
Ah, yes. I'm surprised not all of you did. New people
That's
tend
not
to do
much
that.
worse.
Oh. Well, that's a story I'd like to hear sometime.
That can be arranged. Buy you a drink?
No, I don't drink while I work.
Understandable. And Blender's gonna turn and order... Well, turn and... I think Leighton ordered everyone a...
Yes.
Probably turn and find the soup or the stew.
Ah, yes,
Ooh.
excellent choice.
Yes. Leighton tends to, we leave the food up to him.
Ah, smart man then. No, he had to feed his friends.
And I assume that house, that nice one next door, that's yours.
Oh, that belongs to my son. I just live there.
So, decent money in the fishing business.
Oh, yes. Well, after my son took over the business, everything has been going so well. He's such a good businessman.
Maybe we should have gotten into this field of work sooner. Only have the one kid?
Oh no, I have 4. But one of them is off on a business trip to Gothenburg.
Oh, wow. Victor and I never really got around to it.
It's not for everyone.
Daughters or 4 sons?
Oh, I have 4 sons. Although my youngest is the best businessman of them.
Their father in the picture still, or?
No, he had a bit of an accident. But it's been almost 30 years ago now.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh no, he was what's the colloquial? Asshat.
Bastard.
It was
I don't know how to round out conversations IRL, never mind here.
Well, I mean, I suppose just turning to food at this point, purely because I'd be hesitant to push for too many more details.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
After her first line was know when to stop talking, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
And no blender is going to turn to the stew, take a bite, and how is it?
passable.
With its vegetables.
Do you like fish?
Yeah, so the thing is that in Swedish, vegetables is called grönsaker, which is green things. And so, yeah, there is plenty of...
It's like a very broad characterization.
Yes.
Some fish.
It's fish and something that might have been a carrot at some point.
It's not green.
And no, but the leaves are green.
True.
It's a whole carrot. And algae and seaweed. They are also green.
Okay.
It tastes fine. It's not like gourmet, but it won't make you feel like you need to chuck it into the ocean after you eat it.
Before.
The well-dressed man in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to kind of discreetly just give him a once-over?
Yeah, absolutely. You can give
Just
me
kind of see what I can intuit about his kind of current
Yep.
I
state
may
of
have asked
being.
this before, but I don't remember the answer. Do you know a Vaesen when you see one?
It depends on
Is
the
there like
Vaesen.
a ping in the radar?
It depends on the Vaesen. Like a Vetir you would know
there
immediately. But
Well, yeah, but that's because they're little guys. But any
Yeah.
of them that say for ones that look vaguely human
yeah.
or could pass for human, even if you have the sight, can you tell that they're? I suppose my point is, if they're Vaesen, and most people, it can Vaesen be seen by people without the sight if they want to be.
Most Vaesen cannot hide from people with that sight, but there are some who are shifters. And shifters are nearly
Like the
impossible
quarry
to discern even with the sight if they are in their shifted form. So like if you encounter a werewolf in human form, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't
That
be...
was sort of what I was driving at. And
You
a
would-
human could see the werewolf in human form
Yeah, exactly.
without
so,
the sight.
Yeah. So
Can they see a werewolf when it's shifted? If it's in its wolf form, would a human be able to see it?
I would say yes, because a werewolf in the wolf form has no real control of if it wants to be seen or not.
Yeah, right.
But I'd say that someone with the sight can get this, like, there's something uncanny, but you would still have to roll if it's just like, okay, this human is creepy, or this is a Vaesen.
Excellent.
Okay.
So I suppose that's my question about this dude.
Yeah. So you could, with a high enough observation roll, you could tell if anyone is Vaesen or not, but you would have to, you would have to roll for it. Yeah. Annika, you wanted to...
Yes, I want to basically look at this guy as discreetly as possible and kind of take in, his demeanor, the way he dresses. Does he have any suspicious bulges in his clothing where he might be concealing supernatural animals? That sort of thing.
Yeah. Sure, give me an observation check.
Why am I suddenly blind? Okay.
Me when my brain turned into microwave noises and TV static.
That is 2 6s.
Yeah.
There's definitely something off about this guy. He is dressed in a suit in this pub, sitting off in a corner with his hair perfectly made up, and you can tell, like, he has a nice waxed mustache. There's not a speck of dirt on his suit, and there is something strange going on. Like, really strange, because none of the patrons of this establishment is paying attention to him at all.
So he sticks out about as badly as Leighton.
Actually, I'm also gonna throw out, just because I realized I forgot to mention it during the recap. One thing that we did posit was, obviously we don't know what this guy's, what their, like, deal is, or if they're, like, we think they're probably sacrificing. It is also possible that the guy has a spiritus, which was one of the, like, parasitic Vaesen that, like, gave you, like, luck or magic or things like that. It's possible that they might be kind of being magically caused to avert their gaze, I suppose, if he has one somewhere on him.
Yeah.
Like, when you say he's being ignored, like, people aren't acknowledging him in any way, or if, like, someone, like, fell over, like, near him, they wouldn't, like...
It's more of a, they don't go to that corner of the room.
Okay.
It's like there's an invisible barrier, and no one seems to, like, you would think in a room like this with, like, 50 drunk sailors, someone would go up and harass the nicely dressed man. They don't even seem to see him.
Adana, question.
Yes.
Leighton is also nicely dressed and immaculately groomed. Is anyone harassing him?
I was about to get to that. Because I rolled...
Leighton has been punched twice.
I was rolling to see how long it would take for someone to actually come up and ask you questions, because you're new people. And yeah, it takes... I rolled a 5, so about 5 minutes. Leighton, a very, very drunk man is just stumbling over to you, and now, where's your cat?
He has left the wheels of the stroller on the
boat, but the thing has sort of, it's almost like a pull-out baby capsule at this point. So he has taken that.
Grogu pod.
Yeah, sort of like that, and it is down by his feet while he is eating his stew, and he's putting little bits of fish into the capsule for the cat.
So a very drunk man is stumbling up to you, Leighton, and then you hear a from the cat as he accidentally kicks it. Not the cat, the capsule.
Yeah. Oh, please be careful.
Why is your bag growling?
That is my cat. Could I buy you a drink?
Yes.
What are you having?
Not ale.
Can I have a not ale, please?
What's wrong with the ale? Yeah, the ale's good. The ale's fine. But you don't want the ale, so here. You see the two brothers just swapping back and forth, almost as if finishing each other's sentences.
The handsome fellow here didn't want the ale.
Oh. Right, so
he'll have
not
him the-
ale coming up. You're very nice. Why are you so nicely dressed? Yeah, why are you so nicely dressed? You shouldn't be that dressed that way. You're gonna get dirty.
Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm used to getting dirty.
Oh, doctor. Why is a doctor? Yeah, why is a doctor here? We don't need a doctor. We take care of our own.
Oh, I'm just here for
Recreation. Fun.
Fun.
I wanted to see the sights, try new things, have a couple of drinks. This delicious fish stew. Thank you, by the way.
Oh, that's the chef doing that. Oh, you want some
Yes, my
drinks?
compliments too. Sure. Absolutely.
And it's almost like they materialize. That was hard to say. Materialize in front of you. You see four glasses, a little bigger than shot glasses, filled with a clear liquid. And the guy next to you, the drunk sailor, grabs both of them and just junk one after the other.
Oh, am I supposed to do the same thing?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Takes a deep breath. Leighton does not generally drink. It's not that he's against it, he just doesn't. So he'll take one, and his hand's not shaking, but he's a little bit, you know that thing where you're not quite sure about a thing and you're sort of bringing it back and forward, just trying to will yourself to do it. Then he's going to sort of squinch his eyes up and toss it back.
Yeah.
And then gulp and put the glass down, and then grab the other and gulp and stick it down. And his face sort of stays squidged up as he's trying to determine whether this is going to kill him or not.
The taste is very smooth. Whoever's making this knows exactly what they're doing. But the burn at the back of your throat is vicious.
Oh, well, that burned all the way down, didn't it? Very nice, but
It's
I'm
like
afraid
it was like drinking smooth liquid fire.
Oh, so you were a braver man than I. I am not very big into the drinking, but that was lovely, and one were trying to drink a volcano, I suppose.
Oh yeah, brother makes that. Brother's very good. Brother Zacharias is really good.
What do we call it?
Aquavit.
right. That is
Yeah, Mother says that means water of life. And it really is. 'Cause you can't drink the seawater.
I suppose one can't. I'm not sure I'd be very good at drinking much more of that, though, either. While it is lovely, I am made of a finer constitution. Not finer, I should say weaker constitution than you burly seafaring folks.
Oh. Thank you for the drink, weird man with a hissing bag.
Oh, that's Ambrose. He's a cat.
Right, cat. Huh. Alright.
Yes. Well, yes, you're welcome, and lovely to have met you. What was your name again?
Jake, I think. Yeah.
Jake. Well, very lovely to have met you, Jake. This was a very illuminating encounter that I have had. You can be proud to know that you are the first person that I have ever shared a glass of aquavit with. So, thank you.
You're funny. I'm gonna go back to my table now. Wait.
Yes, have fun.
And he stumbles not to his table, just out the front door and down the steps.
Oh, I do hope you'll be okay. Charming man. I may be sick.
I will throw up on you.
Hey,
little bit.
Don.
Yes.
As I take a sip, not like a sip and a little taste of this stew,
Mm-hmm.
am I able to tell if this is just normal fish?
Give me a... What would that be, actually?
It's using, like, thinking about my dark secret, so...
I think...
Oh yeah.
I think
Suspicious
observation.
fish.
Observation or investigation?
Your choice.
I'll go investigation. Ooh, actually, yeah, no. Investigation's one more dice, so... That is 1 6. One more roll. That is 2 6s.
Nice. With two sixes, it's normal fish. That's definitely normal fish. There's something odd about it though. Not in like, oh no, this is wrong or poisoned or anything like that, but there's something off.
I don't happen to recognize the flavor of what is off, perchance, do I?
It's not in the flavor per se. It's just you get this nagging feeling. Just almost like intuition that there's something not wrong, but uncanny.
No.
Have I had this feeling before?
Actually, yeah. You might want
Yeah.
to remind Ardana of the dark secret.
Oh yeah, no,
already
I
have.
did. She
yeah.
did.
Already done that, babe.
It's
Spoilies.
yeah. With your background as a hunter, it's you get a sensation of something having been herded. Instead of it following the natural pattern of the fish migration, this fish has been herded.
What kind of fish?
It's herring.
Is this all herring?
Yep.
I mean, everything on this island seems like it's herring.
Cool. So saying how did you get herring at this time of year isn't going to make any sense.
No.
Damn.
It's like, yeah, everyone you ask is gonna point at the ocean, like, there.
There we get it.
Okay. So she's just going to kind of nod and say, that's actually very good. How's fishing been lately?
Oh, it's always excellent. It's been like that for, I don't know, 30 years or so.
That's not in character. Well, I mean, I knew you can make a living fishing, but not. And she just kind of looks around and looks out the window at the house and says, might have to go into this full time. It's been more of a hobby, but. And she's gonna look over at Leighton. I don't know how the doctor would react though.
Well, fish has all sorts of medicinal uses.
Leighton,
sure.
The fucking what's the word I'm looking for? First guy to ever invent fish oil captions. He's like, check out these omega-3s, and they're like, burn the witch.
But not for the omega-3 stuff.
Yeah, totally. Very different reasons. Blendy's gonna turn back to her stew and just eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think I can have it for sure.
It's quite good.
All right.
Can I say that I like as I'm eating this, I'm just keeping an eye on this handsome, well-dressed dude in the corner. I just want to see if anyone or anything interacts with him physically, or if he just is standing there watching, chilling, and nobody acknowledges him anyway.
He seems to be completely left alone. I need to check something. Here we go. While you are observing this man, he is scribbling something in what looks like a large ledger. Seems like he's doing office work in the pub. And there you are. Annika, could you please give me a vigilance check?
I would like to stress that while this is happening, the rest of them seem to be sitting and eating their stew. I went straight to talk to the pile of seaweed.
Yep.
So that would be happening concurrent to I'm watching.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Just resolve
which
this and
check
then
did you
hop
say?
over. Vigilance.
Vigilance. Sorry, I had a mental blank there.
Could I actually give the help action here? Because I think that Victor is sitting up the front with everybody, but has not touched the bowl of food in front of him. And I think is just continually shooting glances around the room, because I don't think he trusts anyone on this island enough to eat anything they've prepared for him.
Unfortunately,
The fact
not
that Blender does is weird.
not in this particular check, no.
Okay. Fair enough.
I get 2 successes.
Okay. As you are observing this man, you suddenly get the taste of seawater in your mouth, and your vision starts moving as if you're underwater.
Can I breathe?
Yes. With 2 successes in vigilance, you realize what is happening, and you manage to brace against the sensation of being, you get the sensation of being pulled underwater. And then, but because you were so vigilant in counteracting this, you very quickly again manage to shake off the sensation.
Ooh. Has the man looked at me at all?
No. And
I quietly warn whoever is near me what just happened.
Yep. Who would be closest? I think Blenda might be closest. But she's talking to...
Victor.
Yeah, Victor.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I could be sort of sitting in between them, and I think he'll just quietly, or I think after hearing, will just nod. And did it seem like he was doing it, or just like it happened?
As far as I can tell, he's ignoring me completely. He's not looking at me or anything, but I've been looking at him. I don't know if he noticed that. I suspect he or someone else might. Would I have any kind of concept of the sensation I felt of being dragged underwater, even though in a pub on dry land? Would I have any concept of what kind of would cause that effect? Is this a spell, or is this a reaction to the presence of a magical being?
Give me a learning check.
Ah. Check. Come on, babies. Okay. Oh, that's 2, and I get to roll 1 more dice.
Oh, nice.
2 6s. Have I ever got more than 2? Just want to crack the magical 2 barrier.
You do remember that there are several Vaesen who can mess with your vision, and through magic. You being this close to the ocean, and talk of mermaids earlier, you do recall that mermaids also have this kind of magic, or sea-dwelling Vaesen have this type of magic. It is an illusion, but technically harmless, but the magic can trick your mind so much that it will react as if you are drowning. Ansfred.
Yeah.
You approach the what looks like a pile of rags and seaweed in the corner of this room. Getting closer, you realize that what looks like dried algae is actually hair, and the rags is just a man bundled up on top of the table, his greatcoat causing that vision of rags piled on the table.
And his name was Oliver?
Orvar, yes.
Yes.
Let's see.
Ansfred would go over with a spare mug of ale and say, is he awake?
It's hard to tell. He's not snoring.
He would plonk it down in front of the guy and say, thirsty? Not overly loudly, but not quietly.
You see the pile jump a little and look up, and 2 dark eyes look at you. You think, maybe, he might also be looking at your double next to you, that probably only he can see. Always. Why? Oh, yeah. When you see a long, like bony hand reach for the ale, and then he sits up, takes a large gulp of it before it's seemingly coming back to life again. It's just, oh, you knew.
Oh, I've been around, but not here. My mother always said, when you see someone who maybe looks a little thirsty and you have it within your power to make them less so, you do so.
Quality woman, yes.
She was. It's sad. It's wrong what they say about her.
Oh.
I say Ansfred. And reach out to shake his hand.
Orvar. And he takes your hand in a very firm grip.
Orvar. Calloused hand?
Yes.
Yeah. Orvar, you have the look of a sailor about you.
Oh, I've been fishing all my life.
How's that gone for you?
Eerily well.
Eerily well, scarily well.
Scarily well. Oh, well, I said eerily well, but scarily would probably fit better.
Right. Scarily well. How so?
Well, the herring comes, the herring goes, but never for this long. Well, it hasn't gone away for 3 decades.
Is that the problem?
Oh, it's not natural. You You're supposed to get down times in between.
Perhaps they are overbreeding.
Oh, if that was the case, you'd get it for a season, and then not the next season.
True.
I'm
Any
not...
thoughts on what's causing it then?
Oh, it's the mermaid. Definitely mermaid.
What now?
Oh, she's out
what
by
now?
the reef.
You've seen her?
From time to time, yes.
A nice being?
I stay away from them things.
Wise.
No good for a man to go chasing boogies in the water.
A saying I try to live by.
He says, about to go do exactly that.
Speak for yourself. If it's a mermaid, maybe we don't fuck with that. It doesn't seem to be a problem in and of itself. I heard some very unpleasant rumors, and he lowers his voice a little bit. And I want to be clear, he's got a mug of ale his own self that he has been sipping, but not actually imbibing any of.
Yep. It's
raising
not,
it to his lips,
yeah.
pouring it back, and it's resting in his mustache, and but he keeps his mouth closed whenever he takes a pull.
Yeah.
So none of it's getting into his mouth.
So yeah, whatever drops that manage to slip by, they're not good. It's not good.
No.
It's it's strong ale. You'd say roughly 6-7%, so really strong ale, but it's not good.
No. This will put hair on places where hair should not grow. Have you heard of? We heard on the mainland of people going missing. Would that, you think, be the mermaid as well?
Oh yes. Well, the whole family here is just feeding that mermaid.
Feeding.
Yeah. Oh. And he holds up the tankard and you can see it's empty. Just, another?
Of course. I tell you what, you have mine. I'm thinking I should stick with the aquavit. I prefer a stronger beverage that takes less time to drink.
Right. Yeah.
And I just straight up pour him from mine.
Oh.
I'll probably go halvesies with him, at least initially.
Yeah.
He can have the rest when I leave.
Well, you didn't hear this from me, but
Of course not.
at the new moon, they take someone out to the reef and drop them in the ocean for the mermaid. I guess it has to do with the kid. Mermaid's kid helping the family.
Interesting. Why would the mermaid's kid do this?
Well, they were, as far as I know, the family was kind to them. Why do you believe me? No one does.
You've seen a mermaid. You're not the only one.
Ah, that makes sense. No, so the young.
Don't let it get to you.
I just don't really care. People just shrug it off and move on.
It can be hard, though.
True.
Having things that you can see that no one else can, and they don't believe you when you tell them. That can be hard.
That's true. I used to care. Now I don't. Too old. Too old to care. Just be careful with the youngest one. He's the mermaid kid.
I heard he was away on a business trip, or is that where he is?
No, that's the brother they dropped in the ocean last time.
Dropped in the ocean.
The way I
Gave
hear
one
it,
of their own.
I don't know what happened there. All I know is that I saw him sailing out towards the reef. Four of the kids in the boat. 3 of the kids came back.
Interesting. Olva, it has been a pleasure chatting with you. I'll go buy you another round.
You are a good person. And he just knocks
I
back
like
the
to
right.
think so.
And I think we're gonna take a break there.
Perfect
Plot
point.
thickens and smells like fish.
Hello everyone, welcome on welcome on back in. Brain, come
Hey.
on. Slow down a little bit. We are back. Ta-da! We are back here again with some Vaesen, and as you can see on the screen, the guy to the furthest right of the screen, I know my directions, is Mr. Well-Dressed Man that they encountered in the pub, as well as in the middle is Orvar, the seaweed and rags dude that they also encountered in the pub. So it's currently early afternoon. You have been told that the new moon is that night. You also have a bunch of information that you have been given about various things. What would you like to do?
I would like to check something real quick.
Okay.
I think.
I've got to find somewhere
Is
private.
Ansford still with Seaweed and Rags guy?
I didn't stick with him for very long.
Because if you
I
come
went and
back,
bought him another beer, and then I come back, basically, yeah.
because Annika will tell you about the sensation of being
Well-dressed dude.
dragged underwater and the suspicion that the creepy, well-dressed dude in the corner has something to do with it.
So the well-dressed
I
dude
wonder-
is looking at something that looks like a ledger, yes?
Yep.
Would,
Lars? One of my level ups, I chose to make Anbros a pet talent.
Mhm.
Yep.
Would it be possible to vaguely set him loose? To try and
Okay.
cause enough havoc that I could try and retrieve him close enough to that guy that I could take a peek at that ledger. Doing this would give me a +1 to that roll. With the pet thing.
So what role are you looking for here? Just learning or observation or or investigation even?
I'm trying to sort of investigate the ledger under the premise of trying to retrieve my cat.
Okay. Let me check what that would be.
Just before that happens, actually, Blender's going to finish her stew, shake the hand of the Codmother, and wander back on over, probably to Leeton. If you share that
Yes.
plan, I can try to help.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. How would you help? How would you help in causing chaos?
So if
Fluffy.
Leeton, if Leeton has let his cat loose, she'll just lean down to Fluffy and whisper, "Sick 'em, gentle," so as to have her not kill the fucking cat.
Those two, I believe that cat and dog get on quite well, so
Yeah.
it should be fine.
They're under tables. They're knocking shit down.
Okay. Leighton, please first give me a stealth check. Because you're trying to do this covertly, like you're trying to sneak over and get a look at the ledger.
Okay, that is a 6 die roll for stuff.
You do get help from the absolute chaos that you're creating.
Okay, so that would be 7
And the plus
dice.
1 from the pet.
Okay, so that's 8 dice. Let's
Yes.
see how I go.
I unleashed the pigeon. I do not.
It
I
shits
think
on
it's
the
a
ledger
dumb
and
idea,
can't
Oh my
see
and I'm
god,
not
anything.
gonna-
you won't believe this.
Josh, it shits on the ledger and Leighton can't see
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
I need to show you this. I got 4 6s.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, chat, could you please
Alright.
roll me a d6? Anyone in chat, please roll me a d6.
Yeah, you
Nice.
really did. Holy shit.
That is so cool. Okay, with 4. That's still the wrong thing.
Oh my god.
Yep. Mm,
Leighton is invisible.
At the moment, yes.
a roll.
I mean,
Okay, a 1. Okay.
With a hunting dog trying to chase down a hairless cat. Yeah.
The
I have
entire
a cat that is probably in a sailor suit right now.
the entire room just erupts in shouts and shrieks and chaos, because suddenly you have about 50 drunk fishermen and sailors, a hairless cat being chased by a dog, and presumably a few humans trying to keep rein in the pets. And yeah, Leighton, you managed to get to the ledger without being spotted by anyone. It looks like a business ledger with just what's it called? Can we have the English word, please, Brain? No, it's not outgoing. Come on. Like the costs and income and all that kind of balancing.
Budget, sort of. not
Yeah,
budget.
it's a the expenses ledger. And please give me a investigation check.
And that would just be a regular investigation.
Yes.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Investigation. I get 2 plus logic, so 7. Where's my dice roller?
Very nice.
So get rid of one of those. 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll. I got 1 6.
You managed to figure out by just by looking at the first open section that there seems to be like you can easily tell when this current herring season started, which was in early summer, all the way up to when you're at now, and this would be the second new moon of the summer, and you saw that the income bits, like items sold, increased about a week after the previous new moon.
Okay. What he was looking for as he was sort of scanning through
Mhm.
was to see if like a person's name showed up on that ledger as something that might have been told.
No, you see several names, but all of them look like companies. So possibly food grocers and things like that would buy salted and smoked fish.
Right.
You do see, like at the top of the page is a gap. You see the last date being in October the previous year. And then it starts again at the late May of this year.
Which would be normal because that would be the off season. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But there hasn't been an off season.
No.
But there'd be winter.
Yeah, there would be winter where it wouldn't be there at all because they would freeze to death. But each season, there have been fish coming in, which is unusual. You always have seasons that you don't get any, and people
Yes.
starve. But it has not been a bad season for 30 years.
Interesting.
Okay, I get it.
So no nefarious plots there, but
Not from
more
what you can tell in the ledger itself. You do see that it's not just a small spike. You can see those throughout the weeks. This one was like a radical spike in items sold and then start tapering off again.
Excellent.
so he will then step away from there and then try and actually wrangle his cat back into its box.
Once
Okay.
Leighton comes back, Blender's just going to say, Fluffy, fetch. And I like to think that Fluffy will pick up the pace a tiny bit, pick the cat up by the scruff of its neck, and just walk it back.
Yeah, the cat goes completely limp.
And as you're doing that, suddenly a shot just goes off from by the bar.
Codmother?
Yes, you see the love that you named that. You see Abela standing on top of the barrel, shotgun in hand, and she's just fired into the ceiling. And the whole pub just goes quiet. And she just, please behave yourselves, at least somewhat. And everyone just,
Terribly sorry.
well, you managed to fetch whatever that is. So, and I would very much like for you to leave now. You're welcome back tomorrow.
Yes, of course. Terribly sorry. He's not usually that frisky. He ate a little bit too much fish stew, I think. And well, gentle cat, honestly. I promise. I'm so sorry.
Come on. She's
Yes,
going to
right.
kind of just pull Leighton by the sleeve. Like we are
Yes,
being
right.
kicked out of this pub. We are leaving.
Understood. Understood. We're leaving.
She'll
Goodbye.
turn around
Thank
and
you for
just,
your hospitality. He's saying as he's being pulled away.
Thank you again.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Whoops.
Do all of you move out quietly, or
I mean, are we being banished too by association?
yes, your entire group?
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Victor, I think, went deadly still for a moment, and his hand shot to where his gun is when the shot went off, then he wasn't expecting it. But I think Will have just frozen, and after a few seconds will slowly just sort of right himself and just nod and leave without acknowledging them or making any eye contact. We'll just get up and walk out.
Before I go, I'm going to take a quick moment to check on the well-dressed man in the corner, see how he's reacted to the.
He's no longer there.
Interesting.
Dun dun dun.
But as you leave the pub, you see him standing outside, leaning against a tree, and he'll look at the group and that was a fine bit of entertainment. I wonder.
Yeah, terribly sorry about that.
Sorry about
Oh.
that.
My mother tends to be a little bit crotchety when it comes to her version of disturbing the peace.
I thought she was very likable.
Oh, she is. She's a wonderful person once you get to know her. She's just very firm in her ways. Now,
Linda can relate.
Now, I was wondering, seeing as you are quite an interesting lot, if you would like to have supper with me this evening.
Like, Annika's down for this.
I think unusually Victor will actually pipe up. Unless anybody had any other plans, I think that sounds nice.
Is it going to be more fish?
Unfortunately, fish is what we mostly have here, but I do have some other things. We do have waterfowl. We do have vegetables from the mainland, if that suits you better.
It may, yes.
Oh, I'll eat just about anything, provided it's edible.
I don't believe we've caught your name, sir.
Yes.
Where are my manners? Of course, of course. Zacharias Amundsen is my name.
Are you perhaps Blender's son? Blender's son? Nope, that's me.
That's you.
What was her name? Started with A.
Abela.
Abela's son.
I am fortunate to call her mother, yes.
She talked very highly of you.
Yes.
She's too
Blender's
kind.
tried to shake his hand.
He's got to take your hand and give me an observation check.
Observation. Can't use vigilance.
No.
Understood. 4 dice it is. It's a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 6.
Nice.
Yay.
Hey.
2 ones.
As he takes your hand, you notice a slight webbing between his fingers. It's just a little bit longer than normal. And under his heavy perfume, there's a distinct scent of salt water.
Bro swims a lot, I'm sure.
And he'll take your hand and just give you a slight nod, almost as if to touch your hand with his face in some way, and then thinks better of it and just shakes it. Just, a pleasure, I am sure. Now, I could obviously ask you if you wanted to follow right now, but seeing as the staff would need to prepare the supper, shall we say in about an hour?
Yes.
Certainly. Anywhere that we should visit?
Oh,
Visit, brother.
well, my
The
home.
residence is his house.
My home
Yes.
is right here, and it points to the 2-story house next to the inn.
I mean, in the meantime.
Oh, I would say you could always spend time at the pub, but seeing that as my mother has currently locked her doors to you, I would, for your own sakes, avoid the warehouse. The smell tends to cling.
Yes.
Noted.
I think it's already closed.
It's like, I think we all smell of fish already.
Yes. You could always take a stroll around the area, though there's not a whole lot to see on this island unless you're into shipwrecks and seagulls.
Oh, I do like a good shipwreck.
She really does.
Oh.
We could go for a nice little stroll, take in some air.
Might be an idea then.
Yes.
Well then, shall we
All
say
right.
in about an hour then?
See you
Yes.
then.
Where was it that Olvar said he saw the mermaid?
It's out at a reef, out by the other, further out, into the archipelago.
I'd like to see if I can find a spot to see the reef over there from.
Oh, well, if you want to see the reef, may I suggest the climbing the hill here? And he's gonna show you, like the island is moving up like this, like into a small hill. Though do be careful, the rocks tend to roll if you step on them wrong.
Ah,
Hmm.
thank you.
Good to know.
And with
Understood.
that, he's gonna push off from the tree, and with a courteous nod, he's gonna wander into the house, as presumably to start preparing for supper.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yes.
You ever get the
don't like
impression that you've been invited for dinner?
Mhm.
Yes.
And you'll note he said, I do call her mother.
It
Yes.
would not surprise me if this one was a changeling or something similar, and maybe he.
Answer it. I'm gonna roll something.
Oh. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. You notice nothing. I rolled 2 sixes.
Curse my low empathy score.
The
Ah.
it's a fish in the stew.
So I had a lovely. Let's go for a walk, shall we, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you do take. Yep, you do go for a walk.
And Ansfred shares what he learned from Oliver. Oliver has seen a mermaid around the reef yonder several times, apparently, and he considers his good fortune of being a fisherman around these parts for the last donkey's years to
30.
be, well, more than. He is quite old. But he considers it to not be as fortuitous as, well, he seems aware that it is unusual and at once takes it, but at the same time does not particularly care for it. But he said the one of the brothers was fed to the mermaid, the first sacrifice.
Oh.
I wonder if that might have been Zachariah.
That was not Zachariah we just spoke to?
Well,
You thinking that is not Zachariah we are talking about?
Victor, I spoke to. I'm just gonna call her the Codmother. The Codmother. She said she had 4 sons, the youngest of which is business savvy, and one of whom has been away on a business trip.
My impression from Oliver was that's the one he was talking about.
Yes.
so you.
Also, I say 30 years, Ansfred, because 30 years ago, her husband went missing mysteriously. And she mentioned that fishing here has been good for the same amount of time.
That was my impression, yes.
So, is going to supper with him a good idea or not? Because
Absolutely.
either he's trying to entrap us so one of us can be the sacrifice, or he's distracting
Almost
us
certainly.
so the sacrifice can proceed unimpeded by us meddling in it.
I expect that we will be walking into a trap. Oh,
Yes. Obviously.
but we have the advantage of obviously knowing, which is nice. But I could be wrong. But also, Blender, did you actually mention out loud that he smelled kind of like seawater?
I was going
or
to,
whatever?
yeah.
Okay.
And that his hands were webbed.
I think that doesn't sound human to me, and I
No.
could be wrong. But if this Zachariah was made a sacrifice or something similar at one point, it's possible it might have taken his face to walk around easier. And it's possible that if she did not look too hard, maybe even the mother would simply think he was returned, but better.
Four went out, 3 returned.
Is there...
Zachariah's not the one on the business trip.
No.
Is there some way of forcing it to reveal itself? If it is, you know, some sort of sea creature assuming human form?
I'm just trying to think if we... Because I think that it'll depend on the Vaesen. Are we able to make a roll? Wait, what did you say? He's... made.
Didn't we ascertain that he was potentially the child of the mermaid?
Yes, I believe we did hear
You're right.
something.
Yeah.
Someone did hear something about that.
I did forget that.
Like, he's been her child, her youngest, for however long.
So,
But he's the
question
child of a
then.
mermaid.
How old is this guy?
About 30, perchance?
It's hard to tell. You can give me an observation check if you want to try and ascertain that more precisely, but
I would
late
love
late 30s, early 40s at a glance.
I mean, that can obviously, that's a moving target. What
Yeah.
you look like isn't necessarily how old you are.
Exactly.
Well, I wouldn't know because I rolled 2 nothings.
But yeah, somewhere between, say, mid-30s to mid-40s. But living in these conditions, like, he could be 20 and have been outside in sea air for too long. So,
It's just had, it's been a rough 25 years.
yeah.
Um, can I possibly roll to see if I remember anything about mermaids mimicking humans?
Yeah, absolutely.
Learning?
Yes.
Okay, that's 1 6, 1 6.
Okay. You don't remember anything about mermaids per se being able to mimic being humans, but you do remember reading about sea children, the children of mermaids and humans, or mermaid children that can look like humans, especially if they are raised by humans.
That would make sense. Do I recall anything of their abilities?
They have with a
Making people feel like they're drowning spontaneously?
with a one success, you do remember that the sea children, as they're called, have some of their mother's abilities, or mother and father's abilities. Not all of them, though. They need, for example, they would need help breathing underwater usually, if they've been on land for too long. But they do have some magical abilities.
But still potentially dangerous.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know that there's anything we can particularly do to prepare ourselves for this other than to know where your weapons are for when things go sideways.
Of course.
Is there any way... I know Annika is probably the better person to ask this, So I guess I'll phrase it as like, if I can help Annika, I'll do it. But do we have any idea of the weaknesses of people? If they've got like a specific sort of material that they're weak to, or like if there's like a ritual that we need to perform.
I think with the like accumulated successes when it comes to remembering stuff about mermaids, you would know that you can gain their favor by sacrificing something important to you. And most merfolk really cannot stand metal.
Okay.
Was this chap wearing any jewelry?
Not that you could tell.
It will be worth
Interesting.
maybe keep an eye when we sit down for dinner. It would be unusual for a household of this means to not have metal cutlery.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right.
Oh. If we've reached the top of the hill, can we see reef out in the water?
With the binoculars.
Yes.
Yes, I do have those, and I will pass those around to everyone so they can take their own looks at it.
Excellent.
Yeah, with the
I
help
don't
of the
know if it's
binoculars, you can see a good distance out. You do see what looks like a small collection of islands to the very, very furthest end of the archipelago, and a little bit beyond that sits a very flat island. Small, flat island. It's very hard to see, even with the binoculars, because of the waves and the fog that creates from the waves moving, and the sunlight on the water. But it looks like a small island just beyond the rest of the archipelago.
Small question.
Yes.
How far would sound carry from up there?
Very far. It will bounce on the water and other islands, so it will carry very far.
Leighton would like to try to make an approximation of the tune he heard last night.
Okay.
Ooh,
What would that be?
Is it like a
Stupid.
performance equivalent?
Yeah. Ooh, what would
I was
that
actually going to ask, because I presume Annika has now told Unthread about her experience in the bar, and I would ask her and Leighton to compare notes on that experience.
So I would
See if they're
say,
in any way similar.
what would the performance equivalent be?
I would maybe like manipulation would be the closest.
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess.
thinking manipulation.
'Cause I feel like it winds up encompassing like all of the charisma D&D stats.
Yeah.
Of just like
Yep.
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
trying, actually, except for inspiration, I guess actually.
If
It
that
tends
is the
to be.
case, I'm going to burn my token to do it.
Ooh.
Yes,
let's
okay.
go. The nat
Absolutely.
20.
Yep.
Huge.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Oh, I forgot about that for a minute. That's so smart.
Because it is not Leighton's strong suit at all.
Yeah, so you managed to mimic the sound from the previous night in a very eerie way. You feel like the sound rings out. It doesn't carry that kind of vibration that you heard, but you could easily write that down to that you are not the mermaid. You are a human.
Not made of any kind.
Yes.
Can confirm.
But it still carries a weird, like when it starts echoing a little bit around, it takes on a very strange, eerie kind of note. And after a while, you hear what can almost be conceived as a response from further out on the archipelago towards that small island.
Which is
And
not there.
I need everyone to make a force check.
Yeah. Sorry, I may have just killed the party.
No, it's fine.
I have 3 dice. Whoa! Never mind, we're fine.
Force is physique.
Yes.
I am
That
rolling
was
2
worse.
dice here.
Big ol' fail.
Fail.
Unsfrid just grabs Annika and Leighton by the scruff of the neck.
I also fail.
I only have 2 hands. I got a 6.
And what'd you get, Jess?
I got 1-6. Am I able to
Yes.
fucking grab my husband?
Oh, yeah, you can grab him.
And,
how strong is he?
Contested force.
Question.
I imagine, significantly stronger than Annika or Leighton. I feel
Yes.
like I'm an anchor. Like, no.
I only have a
Not
2
today for
physique,
swimming.
so
Same.
So does this inflict any sort of condition on us, or is it literally just like what's the mechanical impact of us failing this?
The mechanical impact is that you start walking towards the water,
Mhm.
and
shocker.
you feel that kind of like a bubbling curiosity, like you need to know where the sound is coming from.
I hear
Completely
siren
ignoring the
song.
fact that Leighton was just singing this kind of melody.
Yeah.
And Leighton, you stop. As soon as you hear that, you stop making that sound, but it continues
Yes.
and it just keeps rolling over the people who failed the first check. You just feel that pull. Like you have to know where that sound is coming from. And
It never fails to impress me how incredibly stupid some very clever people are.
Blender's going to nod to you and, watching her husband walk towards Siren Song, grab him by the back of the shirt and drag him away from it. Like, I think the fuck not.
How dare you chase after some damp floozy?
Strange women lying in fjords distributing songs is not a good system.
For divorce.
It's an excellent foundation for divorce.
That's good.
Oh no.
do any of you have any form of metal touching your skin?
Well, Annika wears jewelry, so she would have earrings at least on, and probably a wedding ring.
Leighton
Yeah,
is
definitely a
wearing
wedding
a
ring.
ring. Leighton is wearing a ring.
I was gonna say
Um,
yeah.
No,
I'd be wearing-
you're not wearing the ring. You don't wear the ring.
That
Neither
is
do
true.
I.
I will say, I guess it depends on how Victor's, what's the word? I guess curiosity manifests, because if it manifests in the classic siren way of just like, what is that? I need to go towards it, then no, probably not.
Mhm.
But if it's just Victor gets curious, his hand would probably go to the hilt of his weapon. So it's up to you.
No, you're getting like you need to immediately know where's this coming from. I need to find where it's coming from.
Nothing sensible about
So,
this.
Leighton and Annika, you maybe 3-4 steps, dragging Ansfred, and then you just wake up from whatever this pull is.
Oh, that was unsettling.
Little bit.
Leighton, don't do that again, please.
No, sorry about that.
Interesting. Good experiment. Next time, make sure you're tied to something before you dry it.
Yes. Whoops.
Victor is still trying to reach water.
All right, I'm going to help Blender this time.
Pick him
You
up.
two don't
Rest
stay
my
here and
soul.
don't shout anything.
You grab his feet. And she's going to hoist her hands underneath this man's arms and just drag him backwards.
If that doesn't
We-
work,
we-
I can lightly poke him with a scalpel.
Very
I
sensitive.
rest the tip of the silver rapier against his neck.
Victor, you manage to shake like this, whatever this is breaks, and you find Ansfred with a sword to your neck.
Victor, my
And-
friend.
If I'm matching what happened to Leighton the other day, then I don't remember.
No.
Like effectively moving, right?
No.
I think just stops dead in his tracks. I think not reaching for a weapon or anything, seeing that one is at his throat, but I think can put the pieces together and just.
Where do you think you're going?
You buck.
I'm back.
I'm terribly sorry. That was entirely my fault.
You
I
just
think it would be wise for all of us to keep metal against our skin from now on.
Blender's going to
seems
kind
to
of spin
help.
Victor around and put your ring on. Definitely not related to the fact that he was going chasing after a siren.
I think actually, what is it? I think particularly if as soon as he heard you need to have metal touching, I actually think first instinct, because he does. I think I've described him as wearing like the fingerless gloves almost.
Yep.
Of just, like he's got the kind of hobo look going. I do think that what is it? He actually, we do have rings, don't we? We just don't.
Either that or at least tuck it into your shirt all the way. Not
No,
with
yeah.
them.
If he if
And
we
that's
do,
what she's gonna do.
yeah, now if we do have them, I think that he'll nod, and I think that rather than just put it on though, he'll keep it on sort of the string it's on, and he'll effectively just tie it around his hand under the glove, so that the ring is just sort of being like constrained on.
Blender's going to tuck the necklace that she has with hers on. It's just a leather rope, which I
Yep.
think Victor's is as well.
Yeah.
And she's going to tuck it into her undershirt, so it's pressed up against her skin.
No.
Don't mind me asking. Why don't you wear them?
Well, I am a hunter. It's given me away more than once. Glint
Flash of
of
light.
it. And she looks at Victor and kind of smiles, knowing what his answer is.
When you have lived without walls for a time, you learn not to have anything of value in easy sight.
Oh, I thought this was because birds like shiny things.
That doesn't help. And you see his eyes narrow a bit as he thinks about it.
I thought that was the reason.
You see, after your little adventure here, that the sun has indeed passed along on the sky, and it is almost time for you to head down, or not head down, to the supper you've been invited to.
Just as one very small detail, but before we go, while we're still sort of some distance away, given it seems like metal, but it doesn't need to be silver, is effective against these things. I'll trade out the silver bullet that's chambered in his rifle for a regular one.
I would like, if I can find some, a small length of chain.
I mean, technically,
Maybe at the
in our last
doctor's.
adventure, I had the priest's chain with the crucifix on it.
Oh no, I would have not taken that.
If
You
you,
could
have
have.
said that out loud, Ansfred,
Mm.
Leighton will hand you his pocket watch.
Oh, could I break it if I
Yes.
want to? No. As in, this is a DM question. If somebody wanted to, I'm looking for something, a restraint that they would find physically painful. A pocket watch chain, I imagine, would.
Yeah,
not
no, that
do
would
the
break.
job.
There are, you would know that down on the pier, there would be some lengths of chain that could hold boats. Not the large
Yeah.
ships. That chain would be like bulky, but you would
Yeah.
find chain that can hold the smaller like rowboats in
Let's
place.
unchain someone's boat.
Yeah, I'd be looking. I would probably see if I couldn't find a shorter length, no more than sort of 3-4 feet, that I could something I could disguise upon my person, and the clinking would only be thought of as coin.
Yeah.
Just wear
If
it like
that-
a belt.
If that's possible. I would want to be more subtle about its existence than that.
Oh, like not necessarily on the outside. I was more just thinking that.
Oh,
Would be like
yeah.
Even if
As
it
a
was
quick draw
underclothes.
situation, just whip it
Because
out.
my
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
thought, also because my first thought was, if you want it to be disguised as coin, if you have it where your belt would be, then the clinking would be coming from the right spot.
I would put it in a pouch
coin
at my
purse,
waist,
yeah.
for example, would be my thinking. But yeah, if I can find one of those, DM, I would love to. Otherwise, that's fine.
Small question, Ardana.
Yes.
Would Leighton be able to pack a couple of hypodermics full of silver oxide?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Leighton's perfecting his hot shots.
Jesus.
If you want to give that as your, you can use your advantage for that. Because I
I
don't
will do
think
that,
I
yes.
don't think you've used that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
So yeah, he will have a few. I think he'll do it then and there. Just slurp up the silver oxide into whatever hypodermics he's got.
Mhm.
And then, since he's probably got 2 or 3, I'd say no more than 3. He'd offer 1 or 2 out.
Oh. I mean, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but you're the expert.
Mm.
Really, all you have
I-
to do
I
is
just-
jab and dispress, but
Yes.
Glenda will take one. She doesn't have any options in close combat. Well, she
Excellent.
does, but it's just her fists. I do have a +2 to that, though.
No, I think Victor will wave it off, tapping the hilt of his saber.
Yes.
In
Glenda's
terms
also...
of putting metal in somebody, it's very good for that.
I have a set of lock picks, so I would like to select a
Sharpest?
suitably pointy one.
Yep.
That in a pinch could be stabbed into someone.
A hairpin.
Well, you need a hat pin. I'd probably have a hat pin as well, to be honest.
Oh, there are some lockpick rakes that have almost like the little lightning bolt shape.
Yeah.
Sort of like
Yeah.
thing on the top. You could
Like-
probably, if you had enough force behind it, you could probably break skin. with
I'm
it.
not looking for something with serious damage, more that I could stick a bit of metal into someone.
Yeah. I'd say that, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to break skin, you won't do serious damage. If you're going to poke someone in the eye, you will blind them.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, obviously how much damage it does. But, I'm
Yeah.
not looking for like a knife substitute. I'm not expecting it to be that
Yeah.
impressive. It's more, if I need to jam it into someone, I can.
Yeah.
Friend or foe.
So something. Pick your targets.
Glenda's gonna
Yeah.
tuck the
I imagine
syringe
if
into
you're-
one sock and a silver bullet into the other.
That's a good idea, actually.
And hand out silver bullets to everybody.
Tuck one in the
Ooh.
sock.
Thank
Okay.
you. I'll take one of those.
so
I'm just gonna keep my regular
Mhm.
regular bullets chambered because if it's just metal that messes with these guys, I'm not wasting silver on them.
No. Algot would look in askance at that, I think.
I'll chamber a
I'm gonna
bullet.
keep the silver bullets in my gun just in case. So we have
Yeah.
Yeah.
options.
Oh,
Pop them
absolutely.
full of
Better
lead,
to have on you.
pop them full of silver. And I'll make sure it's like all ready to go and then kind of tuck it back under my jacket so it's not immediately obvious I'm carrying a gun.
okay.
Glenda has her gun slung over her shoulder, like strapped over. She's gonna just wipe herself down.
Yeah, I think it would be more like suspicious if you tried to hide a shotgun.
It
The
Just
last
down
thing-
one leg, waddling along.
True.
Yes. The last thing
mine's a
we would
rifle.
like to do is just unclip his pocket watch from his vest. Basically, just have it ready to swing at somebody if need be.
Nice.
Anyway,
Okay.
dinner?
So you're heading to down to the residence. It's what out of the 3 buildings that you can see immediately on this island cove thing, it is by far the cleanest one and the most well kept. You
Lovely.
come up to the front door and barely have time to knock before it swings open, and a young woman dressed in a pristine beige-ish off-white dress and a crisp apron is just, Mr. Amundsen's guests. Oh, this way, please. And she is going to lead you towards the dining room.
Excellent.
Blender's gonna pipe up with, before dinner, I, should wash off. Can you direct me to the bathroom on the way through?
Yes, of course. Just through the hall here, and then the second to the right is the bathroom.
I'm gonna see if I can find anything interesting.
Okay, absolutely. Give
We'll go
me.
now.
Yep.
I'm suddenly reminded of that mini kind of video trend where girls who had gone home with a guy for the first time would go snoop around his bathroom to find out whether he had a girlfriend or not.
Mhm. Yep,
It's
absolutely.
like, there's too many different types of shampoo in the shower. You're not single.
Okay.
Oh, yes, he is.
As Blenda heads to the bathroom, getting in there, you see toiletries, soap, random knickknacks, and a bottle of that's what you find out is that same perfume that he was wearing.
Okay.
What are the rest of you
I'm
doing?
gonna wear somewhere.
You're being led into a fancy looking dining room. Heavy, what color would they be? Green curtains hang from 2 large windows, and the table is set for 6.
Lovely.
That's the 5 of us. We'll see what
Yep.
How would we kind of describe the style of decor in here? Is there a nautical theme going? Is it like super posh, or is it just kind of moderately fancy?
Over the top.
Now, it's moderately fancy. Just by looking at it, you can see that everything is of a high quality, but it's not over the top. It's well made. But mostly practical. And everything is nice. It's
Is the oh, sorry.
no, it's I was just going to say that it looks nice, a lot nicer than the pub, obviously.
Any metal cutlery?
Yes.
It's all plastic. They hate sea turtles.
It's those horrible bamboo
Ivory, I
sports.
was thinking, or stone, maybe.
Oh yeah, no, you're fully right.
You see that what you would assume with your tableware is metal, but his is made out of bone.
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, what looks like the fork is made out of bone. The knife has a bone handle, and then it's an actual metal blade.
Yeah.
As-
That's old.
As you are milling about in the dining hall, you hear a shot ring out from outside. And I need everyone in the room to please make me a vigilance or observation check.
Oh, let's see which is
No,
better for
I
me.
love me a vigilance check.
Vigilance, I think, is going to be better.
2 successes.
Or observation.
I got 1 success.
Yeah, vigilance or observation.
Nothing.
3 sixes.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Yeah, this is insane.
You can bank one of those, right?
Yeah, you can.
No, I can.
You could,
Yeah,
you
if you
could
want.
bank one and just take 2, and then we've both got 2, but we have 1 extra, sort of
Yeah,
saved for
I'll do
later.
that.
Annika?
I got 1.
Okay.
What'd you
And
get, Jess?
Ansfred?
Literally.
I'm not in the room.
I got nothing.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I'm using Google Dice, by the way.
And they're
Yep.
rolling insanely well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Victor,
He's sending proof every time.
let's start with... No, wait. Let's start with Annika. You hear scuffling from outside and what sounds like someone being dragged away. Victor, that was Blenda's gun going off.
What?
And Leighton, you look outside and you can see a burly man dragging Blenda away. The other one limping behind, bleeding out.
I think there is genuinely like less than 0 hesitation. I have a question. Are there windows in this room that are aiming
Yes.
towards whatever is... Okay, cool. I think Victor immediately just raises his rifle and puts a shot into the one that's dragging Blender.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm gonna spend my crit here.
Okay. But that is where we're
They
gonna
are
leave
not-
this session.